Hello and welcome back to another Beyblade X unboxing. Today we have the entire, or so far the entire, unique line of Beyblades. So that's Beyblade UX, and I figured I'd unbox them all at the same time because number one, I really want to battle with these three like right away. And two, everyone's already made unboxings for all these. It just took forever to get mine, unfortunately, so I couldn't be the first one. So I'm sure for anyone who's interested to see unboxings for this, they've probably already seen it from 5 other Beyblade YouTubers. But, so I figured let's just lump them all together in one huge unboxing. And we'll start off with, of course, UX1 Dran Buster with the brand new 160 ratchet and accelerate bit. There's the front of the box, and this one does come with a launcher. Let's take a look at the back of the box. Looking at the stats, there is Dran Buster. It's kind of, everyone compares it with Excalibur, and it's hard not to tell why. Huge attack stat, of course, it's an attack type. Very little stamina, and from the battles what I've seen, that is very true. Here's the, can't really fit in frame, but here's the character demonstrating the one huge attack point. I don't even know the character's name, I don't watch the anime, I just like Beyblades. Anyways, brand new 160 ratchet. I'm kind of interested in it because it is one huge attack point, or I guess weak point. It could, because if a Beyblade hits that one weak point, it'll burst, but if it doesn't, all the way around here, it won't. So we'll see how that performs, but it's pretty interesting, and it's got the 60 height, so 60 millimeters, not too tall. We could still go lower, so I'm excited to see a lower ratchet. But cool, new ratchet. And the brand new Excel bit. Now with Excel, it's like flat, but it has a higher gear ratio. I think it has 16 teeth rather than the regular 12. I think, maybe. I might be wrong, but it's an attack type. Same burst resistance as most attack type bits, just higher gear ratio, and it's supposed to make the stadium, or it's supposed to ride the extreme line a lot faster. But we'll see how that performs, because that's how the rush bit was supposed to be, but it rides the extreme line a lot slower rush. So we'll see if it's the same situation for more teeth rather than less teeth. Anyways, let's crack this baby open. Alright, before we get to the actual Beyblade itself, we should talk about the launcher, only because it's slightly different. Not the launching itself, the only thing that's different between the regular winder launchers that we've had before is the prongs. It's just a nicer blue. It's kind of a nice aesthetic to have. Here is the one that came with Leon Claw. Of course, it's completely recolored. But as far as I could tell, there's no huge difference between the actual winder itself. However, the difference does become apparent when you look at the ripcord. So here's the ripcord that comes with drawn buster, sorry. And it looks pretty much the same. However, let me move these guys out of the way. It's not, I don't think it's longer. It's about the same. Yeah, it's the same size. And I'm not going to count the teeth. However, the plastic is a lot more bendy. Like, definitely. Alright, now we have all the Beyblade parts of Drawn Buster laid out. And let's start off with the Bit XL. So, same amount of burst resistance. It's got the big, thick piece of plastic in there. Oh yeah, it's still got the metal piece in it. It's just the lighting's really hard to show it. And it's the same around surface area as regular flat. but as you can see, it's way thicker here. And like I said, I believe it has 16 teeth rather than the 12. I mean, someone else could count because I don't really want to. And that's supposed to make it right around the stadium more because it's got more teeth, so it grabs onto the stadium more. Honestly, I don't think there's going to be too much of a difference between these two, but it does look a lot more bulkier and just cooler, in my opinion. There's not much other difference between these bits, just besides, like, no height difference, the teeth. And I'll weigh it. Alright, I decided before I start weighing everything, I'd want to do it all at once. So let's review the ratchet now. And that is 160. Same height as the previous drawn dagger and drawn sword height. But as you can tell, one huge contact point. And like kind of two tiny little nubs, but they don't really count. We'll dip in it. There's a side profile. It's really... I like the blues that they chose for this. And then there's the top. Nothing special besides the huge contact point, which aligns with the blade. And I guess just for reference, here's the original one. And as you can see, the contact point is significantly bigger on 160 than 360. So it's not a minimal bump, I guess. There's a little overlay, I guess. You can still see it even layered up like that. And there's a side by side. And let's move on to the blade itself. And now finally, let's get to the blade, the most exciting part. Drawn Buster. Again, Excalibur shape. No one's surprised. Even's got the little handle here to pretend it's a sword or whatever. Really aggressive shape. Two tiny protrusions here, and one, of course, bigger protrusion there. Look at the back. The weight is mostly focused again to the one focal point, so it's going to be pretty unbalanced. And let's look at the motif. It has no... Oh yeah, it's got no plastic on it like the previous versions. There's no little plastic barrier covering it. And then the prongs are plastic as well. And the more the metal is outside, that's probably BS, but it does feel heavier. And as you can tell, it's pretty filled in the blade there. Let's get a side profile. One huge contact point like that. I have no doubt in my mind it's going to be heavier. But it does look pretty cool. And of course, the bit doesn't rotate at all. There's no little rotating bit. It's just a hole. As we can see here, once I take this apart, there's this little bit, and then it rotates and stuff. Like that. This one, however, is just a solid piece of plastic that doesn't move at all. Which is cool. It keeps the Beyblade looking nice rather than kind of weird when it's kind of not aligned properly like that. I gotta hold it on like that, and it's like, is that how it's supposed to look like, the motif? Anyways, not a big issue with that. Only main concern is that sticker peeling off if it gets hit weirdly like that, you know? But I'm really excited about a huge contact point Beyblade, and it's unbalanced. I love unbalanced Beyblades, and I can't wait to battle with this. Sorry about that. Camera fell over. Anyways, here is the fully assembled Beyblade. As I was saying before, the ratchet lines up with the blade itself, and I'm not sure if that's going to be ideal when they come into contact, because if it tilts a little downwards right, that huge point just to knock it loose. But then we got the Look at that. This one looks like it skipped a leg day. This one overdid leg day. It's so funny looking at these two side by side. We got 6 blades here, 6 contact points on this Beyblade, and 1 huge contact point on this Beyblade. So I'm really excited to battle with drawn, drawn Buster. And there's a comparison between the two. And let's just look at drawn Buster by itself, side view. It looks really cool. I think this is one of my favorite Beyblades just because it's so different. With the 1 giant contact point, how the metal is more focused on the contact point, and the bit just looking so bulky. I don't think the bit's gonna perform too differently. However, I'm excited to battle with it either ways. Alright, now let's weigh the individual parts. Get this out of the way. Bam. I did not count for the reflection. That's okay. Let's weigh the bit. If it wants to stay. 2.6 compared to Rush. 0.6 grams heavier. Figures. Now let's do the ratchet. Six grams compared to, let's say, yeah, 460. So it's about the same, right? Yeah, it's pretty much the same. And now let's weigh the blade itself. Bam. 360. Not 360. I was gonna say 365. 36 grams. 0.5 compared to the previous evolution. Two-ish grams heavier. A little bit heavier. And now for the full combo. Let's put this back together. So we got 45.2 grams. Let's compare it to the original, sure. Alright, 2 grams heavier. Probably not too much of a difference. It's not that bulky, but we are escalating a little bit, slowly but surely. Now let's move on to Hell's Hammer. Alright, I'll try to keep these ones a little bit faster. I realize how long I took just reviewing Drawn Buster. But here is Hell's Hammer UX2 370. So not an entirely new ratchet, but a new ratchet height, which is whatever. I don't think the ratchet heights even matter, to be honest, unless it's a crazy different height, like a, I don't know, 120 millimeter height. And a new bit called, what was it called again? Hexa. That's what it was called. There's the front of the box. This one also includes a launcher. We'll take a look at the back of the box. Here's the main, or the character that owns the Hell series of Beyblades. I just know he's never won a single fight, which is kind of dumb and stupid that they would write a character with all these cool Beyblades but not have them win a single battle, but whatever. There's the stats for Hell's Hammer. It's got a 3 contact points. Looks more of like an attack type rather than a balance type. And moving down here, 370, so new height in between 380 and 370. It's just slightly taller than 360 and slightly smaller than 380. Cool colors. I mean, I don't really care that it's a different height. It's just a 3 ratchet. And then here is the new bit Hexa. We'll get into it. It's still got the same amount of gears or teeth as XL, so 16 or 18, can't remember, sorry about that. It's supposed to be a balance type bit, but this thing looks like a defense type bit, and we'll get more into that once I actually show the bit. And of course it comes with the launcher. So there's all that, and let's crack this thing open. Let's take a stupid quick look at the launcher. Same thing, same black, but instead of blue prongs or teeth, whatever you want to call them, it's got a red prong teeth. It looks cool. Same thing with the ripcord, red instead of blue or black or whatever, and a little bendy. Anyways. Alright, now that we got all the parts laid out again, let's look from bottom to top. Starting off with the bit. This bit is called Hexa because it's a hexagon here. It's like kind of cut in triangles there, so I could stick my finger in there if I wanted to, or my fingernail. And same burst resistance, high burst resistance. Got that piece of plastic there, piece of metal inside. And the unique thing about this is the high amount of teeth. So I don't really think I need to compare this again, but here we go. Here is taper, and it's just got a higher amount of teeth rather than taper. 16 or 18 rather than the 12, I believe. There's a side by side. My only issue with this, it doesn't really look like a balance type bit. This is supposed to be a balance type bit, but it just reminds me of a high, what was it called? High point? High something? Hold on, where's the Beyblade? I can show it off. Here it is. Whatever this one was called, I forget. High point needle, whatever. It's just wider base. You know what I mean? Just point, and then there's divots cut into it, which will just probably get dirt. I don't think it's gonna add any impact to it. So I'm kind of underwhelmed about it, besides the fact that it looks cool and chunky. Moving on to the ratchet. We're gonna gloss over this one too, because it's just in cool colors, and it's just slightly taller than 360 or 380. Let me bust out something with 380. So as I was saying before I got interrupted, it's taller. You can see the plastic ring there, but the plastic ring here is kind of submerged and flushed with the rest of the ratchet. This is side by side, again 1 millimeter taller. And then here's 360, where this one is just shorter here. It's kind of like cut off the top there. You can tell. Kind of boring. I mean, it's technically new, but whatever. Nice colors though. Now let's move on to the blade. Hell's Hammer. Now this Beyblade looks cool. Again, sticker, no plastic cover, and plastic prongs. There's the top. It's got a 3-blade design, so it's kind of like a phoenix wing or phoenix feather, drawn sword, 3 huge blades. Here's a side profile, and the gimmick is it's supposed to act like a hammer, and so when it hits other Beyblades, it swings them down like that with this kind of downward angle it has, and smacks them to the floor like a hammer, I guess, which is cool. Again, it's more of a tack type rather than a balance type. I don't really see this being any sort of balance. I mean, it's kind of filled in here, so the contact points aren't so harsh, and it's smooth on the actual hammer part, I guess. The blades. Let's look a little below. A lot less metal below shown, and a lot of plastic parts. I guess you could kind of see here better the bit and how the bit's changed compared to the older bit, which, let me tear this apart right now. Side by side. That's how it's changed. Not sure why they made that change. Probably just for aesthetic reasons, so they could do this rather than this. Really cool. I'm excited for this Beyblade. Not as excited as Drawn Buster and Wizard Rod, but nonetheless, brand new Beyblade. Now let's put this thing together. Let's try to line it up with the blades. That's not lined up at all. Here's Hexa. There it is. All assembled. So, I think this one's supposed to be shorter. Oh, no. This one's supposed to be taller than Hell's Chain, because it's got that additional height. Or does it? No, it's supposed to be the same height, right? Yeah, this is like 1 millimeter taller. See what I mean? It's not too much of a difference, to be honest, between these two. Yeah, it's not like this one's towering over between the heights, but very cool. Different color. This one's more pink. This is orange, and then there's more red. Excited to play with this nonetheless, and let's see if I'm wrong about the Hexa bit, and somehow it is a balance type rather than a defense type. Hell's Hammer. Hexa, stop moving. 2.6, just like any other one. Ratchet. Move up. 2.5, like any other Ratchet. And now, for Hammer the Blade. 33.2. Compared to, let me get Chain out again, if I could find it. There's Chain, which was the previous release of the Hell series. 33.3. Wait, wasn't it just 33? Hold on. Oh wow, not too much of a weight difference. What the heck? I guess it did focus outwards rather than inwards, the weight. This feels heavier though, that's weird. Huh. I'm kind of surprised with that. That's weird. Well, seems like they weren't lying and the weight distribution is towards the outside. Now, let's measure the combos all together. And then we could wrap up the video, because this video took too long because I talked too much. Bang. All together, Hell's Hammer, 42.3. Cool. And now finally, Wizard Rod, UX3 570. So again, not a new contact point ratchet or whatever you want to call the 5 thing, but a new height for the ratchet. So it looks really cool and round, and the bit is disc ball, and we'll get more into that later. This one does not come with a launcher, so it's a little bit cheaper, but if you want a launcher, you're not gonna get a launcher. Now let's look at the back at the stats. Oh, great. Sticker covers most of it. Hold on. Alright, we're back. Honestly, I'm not even sure why I even bothered ripping it apart. It's a stamina type. Of course the stamina bar is going to be high. But it's a pretty round shape, and I'm excited, and it looks pretty cool. Silly name though. It's supposed to focus on outward distribution, so it's supposed to spin for a really long time. Of course, that's the goal of a stamina type. Now looking at the ratchet, again, it's the 5 contact points and 70 height. I just noticed they're doing 0.5. Why are they doing 0.5 numbers? That's weird. Anyways, new height, cool. Anyways, disc ball. So going back to the gimmick, it's supposed to help with outward distribution. And we'll take a closer look at it more once I actually unbox the thing. So another stamina type bit. Alright, now that we got all the parts laid out, as usual, let's start from the bottom. And that's the disc ball bit. Very low burst resistance, just like regular ball. As for the shape of the ball itself, it looks a little bit smaller, disc ball, between the tips here. Same gear ratio, and middle bit, yeah, there you go, middle piece, burst resistance. But as you could tell, huge difference. The disc here, non-moving. It's not like Orbit from Burst. It doesn't move, it doesn't budge at all. and it's supposed to help with the outward weight distribution, and honestly it might help a little bit. It's such a small insignificant thing, but as you could clearly see, if I push these out of the way for a moment, let's try spinning this by itself. Nothing. But if I spin this by itself, look at that. Just from having that, they help it balance. So I think it will help very minimally. I'm just worried if it tilts a little too much, it'll have a hard time grabbing onto the extreme line. But since it's ball, it never really did grab the extreme line too much. There's another look at it. Cool. Nice. Now moving on to the ratchet. I'm not even gonna bother doing it in comparison. I already did early in the video. It's just slightly taller in like a yellow color. Looks cool. Slightly taller, doesn't really matter, I don't think. It feels recessed still. Yeah. Look at that. Cool. High profile. Anyways. Now, for the main attraction, I'm really excited about this one. This one feels heavy too. Oh my goodness. Oh, I forgot to weigh the hell's scythe. Well, I'll weigh them at the same time. Anyways. Here is Wizard Rod. Funny name, I know. There's the bottom of it in a side profile. Really round and feels pretty heavy, to be honest. This feels pretty weighty. I mean, not significantly more heavy, but we'll weigh it. And again, outward distribution. All the weight's supposed to be on the outside. There's the plastic, there's the character motif, there's the bottom. Looks cool, super excited about it. 3.2 compared to the regular ball. Dang it. Yep. Which is 2. So it's 1 gram heavier just with the disc. So, I mean, I'm kind of excited to see how this performs. Moving on to the ratchet. Ratchet. 6.8. Let me get another 5 ratchet. See how significant the weight is between them. Or not 6.8, 6.6. Compared to 6.6. Doesn't matter. Whatever. It's a whatever part. And now for the main piece, the blade. We got 35.4 compared to the original. It's probably going to be like 2 grams heavier, or the original is going to be 2 grams lighter. Oh, it's like 3 grams. Oh wow, look at that. Alright, now let's quickly do Hell's Hammer because this video is taking forever. And now, Wizard Rod. I'm pretty excited about battling with Wizard Rod, to be honest. Oh, it looks funny. Oh yeah, I never showed the completed combo piece. Oh, this free spins pretty easily. What the heck? What the? This is like so much more easier to spin rather than like a regular ball bit. Hold on. Oh, my microphone fell. Let's put this thing together. Get my microphone back up here. Don't fall. Close enough. No, you need a lot more like force against that compared to this. Ah, cool. I mean, I guess it's kind of free spinning. That's kind of cool. Maybe it could like modify and put like a bearing on it, making an actual bearing thing. Anyways, there's a completed combo. Looks cool. Excited to battle with this one. And that will be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let's put them all together here. Oh, it sits funny because of the thing. I'm not going to do a test launch because we're going to battle with these as soon as possible. And the video has been long enough because I talk too much. Thank you so much for watching. If you did bother watching all the way through, I super duper appreciate it. I'll try to be more condensed with these videos. I just like getting all my thoughts out there when I can. And well, this is like a perfect video format just to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. So, thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions for the battles between these new Beyblades, please then leave them down below. I do read all the comments. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. See ya.